So I wanted to do a video of 5 things I don't like about owning this bus. Number 1, registration and insurance. It's an E450 Econoline chassis, which is basically was just sold to commercial customers. There are some van-based buses that are based off of E350 chassis. Those are easier to register because you can just get passenger insurance and go to the DMV and register it as a van. This, I had to search for commercial insurance, and I also registered it out of my state so that I could hopefully get it titled as a mobile home or motor home so that I can later register it as a motor home or recreational vehicle and pay the reduced insurance and registration costs for that. Luckily, I had purchased it from a person that was a used car dealer, because otherwise, if it was a private party sale, they said, oh, you would have had to pay sales tax on this, and for whatever reason, whatever lookup they had for this in E450 was that it was valued at $17,000, and I would have had to pay taxes for $17,000 when I went to register it, which I would have probably just walked out and lit the bus on fire or sold it. Probably sold it rather than just light it on fire. Kind of cold out today. Okay, so the second thing, is it a commercial vehicle still, or is it more of a car? And it kind of comes in a couple things. So you drive down, certain back roads and you see a sign, no commercial trucks, no through trucks. Well, it's kind of in between. And same with like rest areas where they say no commercial vehicles in certain parts of certain rest areas on the highway. And I haven't had any problems. I haven't really, other than the long drive back from Minnesota when I purchased it, haven't really driven it too far on any long trips. Longest was up to Vermont, and that was all back roads, no highway at all. So it's kind of question mark, what is it when it comes to parking and things like that. The other thing that comes into question is, is it a commercial truck or just a vehicle, is the gas fill or fuel, diesel fuel. Because when I've gone to some gas stations and went up to a diesel pump, and it's a truck diesel pump, and this has more of a car filler neck on it. So I've stopped at a rest area once and went right to the truck area because I figured, oh, it's a truck. Got there and the nozzle was too big, I couldn't fill up. So I had to, loop around. Same thing goes for, more normal, in town and city kind of fuel stations, is sometimes diesel pumps will be off to the side, and then those are the truck nozzles, but also with the gasoline and the regular car fill up, there's diesel pumps over there, and that's what you have to find. So it does get, a little confusing at some gas stations, because I mainly drive out of, my town. I've kind of found the gas stations that I know where the pumps are, I know, the right size nozzle, which one to go to. So it's not too bad, but I can just see it, it's kind of a pain when I'm going someplace new, and I'm the type of person that runs down the fuel tank. So if I need fuel sometimes, it's because I need fuel and I don't want that extra hassle of trying to loop around finding this pump or that pump. So number 3. Number 3 is the front doors. And it's a matter of comfort and ease. So getting in, driving somewhere, and getting out has a normal driver's door, nice step, easy to get up and into. If I want to get here into the back of the bus from the driver's seat, I have a very small little gap between the seat and the doghouse. And then as soon as my legs clear that, then there's this step up, probably 4 to 6 inches. That's like a step up. So if I'm trying to get up from the driver's seat, now I have to kind of stand up in this little spot and then shuffle myself around and go up this step. The other side of it, so we've got driver's side, and now moving over to where the passenger door is and the walk up, is it had a handle to open it for passengers. Where that handle sat was right in the center of the doghouse and over 90% of the cup holders. So you couldn't get to the cup holders, and not that I have, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 cup holders. Not that I have that many cups to drink, but it's nice to have, change in one, some tools in another. It's just nice to have access to them. The other thing that handle was in the way of is the radio. So you kind of had to snake your hand in behind to press anything on the radio, which was a pain. So pretty early on I took that off and just ratchet strapped it closed. And then when I want to get into it, unratchet strap, but I have to do it from the inside, which means really right now the only way easily to get in is from the driver's door and going through that pain in the butt step. Or I could use one of the back doors. Right now they're kind of all blocked off with stuff behind me. And eventually the bed platform is going to be here, blocking this area. So if I did that, I'd have to come up through this door, jump over the bed, do a nice cool dive and roll. Maybe it would be kind of cool. And then get to the front. So on the list of things to do is fixing that door in a manner that I can lock it and secure it more easily. And what would be nice is having a way that I can unlock it from the outside so I can open it, walk up the steps if I'm just going into the bus and not driving anywhere at that time. Okay, so number 4 is the size of the bus. Now, it is great having all this room, having just a couch in here. This whole living plan kind of came about because I wanted to buy a Mercedes Sprinter van with a tall roof so that you could stand up and move around in it. They happen to cost a lot of money. Even a beat up 90s Dodge or Freightliner that they came to the States as earlier. I saw one that needed to be towed away because it had an immobilizer issue, sell for $4,000. Anything new, I was almost close to buying one that was $12,000 with 130,000 miles on it. But getting financing for that because I don't have that kind of money to spend. So kind of went off on a tangent there, but so the size is kind of a hindrance sometimes in maneuvering around. Number 5. Rattles. This bus rattles a lot. Like, a lot, I think, is from the windows, the front entry door, and some in the roof. It just rattles a lot. So I've seen a lot of people take down the metal roof, insulate, and then, you know, put in a wood roof instead of the metal panels. I always kind of thought that was too much work. I may reconsider that, because if that's part of the rattles, it would be nice to get rid of them. But when I'm driving down the road, and I noticed this even last Saturday when I was coming back from a friend's house, and I had a headache and was really sensitive to all the rattles as I was driving along, I came across a section of road that was just paved. You know, it was a couple hundred yards, completely smooth, fresh pavement. And I thought, I got like 10 seconds of quiet. And I still heard rattles. As I put more things into this, like a bed frame across here, and it's kind of tied into the sides, maybe some of the rattles will go away, but I might have to pull off some of these panels and replace them with other things, or insulate behind them, do something to kind of fill in that void so it doesn't have as much space to go. But like, driving it can be a little bit of a challenge sometimes, because the rattles will get to you after a while. So, rattles, number 5 on the things I don't like about this bus.